Alrighty, what's going on, everybody? Of course, my name is Blitzwinger, and ladies and gentlemen, welcome on back to, of course, another Skylanders Trap Team unboxing. And today we've got a pretty cool unboxing indeed because we have a little bit of everything. We have some core Skylanders, some Trap Masters, a nice little mix of both categories. But the other cool thing is that, of course, both of the core Skylanders are actually brand spanking new. So they are new Skylanders that are now only introduced through Trap Team, which is pretty sweet to see. But really, the main event is, of course, Enigma, who looks absolutely incredible. This character just looks insane. There's so much translucent, cool plastic going on. We'll definitely take a look at him in just a moment. But first, let's start. I guess we'll start with Fling Kong, which is an amazing name, by the way. I really like that name quite a bit. Monkey See, Monkey Doom. Not Monkey Do, Monkey Doom, because that's what Fling Kong does. He reminds me a little bit of a League of Legends character. Wukong, I think, is his character. When I used to play a League every now and then, I sometimes played as him, and he's really fun. So he kind of reminds me of him a little bit in gauntlets and such, so that's kind of interesting. It looks like he's got almost like an Aladdin-like carpet, which is pretty sweet looking as well. He's actually from the air element, which was a bit surprising to me personally. On the back of the packaging, we can see, of course, Fling Kong as he looks in the game, which is pretty neat indeed. We also see some of the other fellow members of the air element, including Thunderbolt, who's awesome, Full Blast, Jet Vac, Fling Kong himself, and Pet Vac as well. Hey, that's kind of interesting. I just noticed it's almost like the packaging has overlapped over on this side. All right, so let's go ahead and tear on into this thing. Wha-bam! And here we are. We are gonna free you from your plastic prison, Mr. Fling Kong. Come on, I don't know why your card doesn't wanna come out. Something is wrong. There we go. Okay, good. And here we are. Mr. Fling Kong is now out of packaging. So, of course, as always, we get our art card. Whoa, this guy's fast. Gotta go fast. This guy's like Sonic. He'd give Sonic a run for his money. He has 60 attack, 30 defense, 200 points in speed, which is insane. 110 points in magic, so that's not bad. This is definitely the type of character that I may actually enjoy playing as, because I really like characters that are super duper fast and have a decent amount of magic. Ideally, I prefer more attack power, but this is a pretty good combination indeed. It looks like he's going to be using some sort of boomerangs or something, or sorry, not boomerangs, frisbees as his weapons. On the back, of course, we have the Skylanders Trap Team logo, which is the same for all of these Skylanders, of course. And then we have Mr. Fling Kong himself right down here. So here's the Skylander, of course, with the red base to signify that it's part of the Trap Team. I don't know what that is. There's a bit of a paint leak there for some odd reason. But obviously, as you can see, he is quite cool looking. Nice bright green eyes there. Very cool texture work in terms of making him look like an actual monkey. So that's pretty cool. Very neat. Okay, that didn't work. I thought it would work, but it didn't. It would have been cool if I landed that. All right, so nonetheless, of course, we then move on to the next core Skylander for today, and that is Flip Rack making waves. And he's like a dolphin, I believe. I want to say he's a dolphin. I'm pretty sure he is because of his long nose, especially in his image right up here. If you'll notice, he actually does resemble a dolphin quite a bit. So I'm assuming that that's what he is. He even has the little hole that they spit the water from. I forget what it's called. Nonetheless, let's just pretend like I didn't talk about all that, because that was completely off topic. Of course, he is a part of the water element, which is typically not particularly an element that I care for a lot. There aren't really a lot of memorable water characters for me personally from the water element, but Flip Rack is certainly a pretty cool looking one indeed. On the back of the packaging, we see Flip Rack in the game. He's looking pretty cool. He's got a really nice set of weapons there, a nice cool shield that is amassed from like a ship and stuff, so that's pretty sweet. And then it seems like maybe a 2x, I'm not sure, maybe it's like a jagged teeth, like it has almost like teeth on it. You see that? I think it is supposed to be teeth, like maybe shark teeth or something. That's pretty cool. That's a neat looking sword. Looks like he's crafted that in like Minecraft or something. It's like a wooden sword, and then he just tied a whole bunch of teeth onto it of enemies that he's defeated. We have Lob-Star, Tidal Wave, Gilgrunt, Flip Rack himself, and Gilrunt as representatives of, or additional representatives of the water element. And of course, I forgot to mention that before, if a Skylander is original, or sorry, core Skylander, but also new to this particular game, you can't take them backwards into other games. However, you can always take characters from each one of the iterations of Skylanders and bring them into the newest one, which is always really nice to see. So, nonetheless, of course, ladies and gents, let's go on ahead and fail at opening this. Ow, that hurt. Okay, I want to avoid having paper cuts because I've already got a paper cut right here on my hand, and that wasn't fun. So I want to be careful. Sometimes I rush these things and then I end up getting a paper cut. Or maybe it's not really a paper cut. I guess it's a plastic cut. That's what it would be called, right? Alright, so as we did before, we're going to take a look at the art card first. So let's see what we have. 190 points in defense. I guess that's thanks to that shield right there. Even though, honestly, like, look at how many holes that thing has. How good of a shield could that really be? But hey, evidently it's a very good one because he has 190 points in defense. We also have 80 points in offense or attack, 50 points in speed, and 60 points in magic. So not too bad. A pretty decently balanced Skylander, of course, specializes in defense. So let's go ahead and open up Mr. Flip Rack. And let me just set the little packaging to the side. Let's go ahead and zoom on in and take a look at Mr. Flip Rack himself. So he kind of spooks me out. Like, am I the only one that's spooked by him? Like, look at that face. Look at that face. Look at that face. Like, that's kind of spectacular. Look at that. Are you looking at me? Like, I don't know. There's something really, really scary about him. He's really spooky looking with his open mouth like that, jagged teeth, and those completely deadly looking eyes. He has a pretty cool shield right here, of course. A really neat sword on the other side as well, which looks pretty sweet. Nice jagged teeth across that, so that's pretty cool. He has some even strap work right here. It's kind of interesting that they didn't paint that. That would have been nice if they actually painted that brown, because it would have brought the figure a little bit more to life. It seems like the figure was assembled in two parts, so it was probably like this top part was assembled by itself and then this bottom part was printed or whatever, and then they glued that on because there's a giant seam going across his back here, and on the front you can't see it because it's the mouth connection. So pretty well done. I would say he's pretty cool looking, definitely spooky, and I'm looking forward to actually see what he plays like. I'm not a particularly big fan of characters that are very defensive, but you never know. Alright, and then the main event of the evening, Enigma out of sight. Of course, the Trap Master from the magic element, and that is of course Enigma, who looks absolutely awesome. Just an absolutely incredibly cool looking Trap Master. I am super duper glad with how this guy has turned out already, and just in the packaging. I mean, look at that staff. That thing is so, oh whoa, look, there's even like a little, I'm not sure if you guys can see that yet, but there's like a design on the staff itself. Like, it's like a circle within a circle. It almost looks like something out of Halo. That's really cool. And then a bunch of translucent white into fading into red plastic. Oh, this is just awesome. Oh yeah, of course, on the back, I'm completely, I'm too excited. On the back of the packaging, of course, we can see Enigma in game, and he looks absolutely cool. Not translucent, but cool. We also see some of the other magic characters as well, including Deja Vu, Frenzy Poppers, which is my favorite character, and Mini Ginny. Alright, so let's go on ahead and open you up. I am not sure if I can do that without a knife. I really don't know. Remember when I said I don't want to get paper cuts or anything? This is kind of counterintuitive to that whole strategy, isn't it? Alright, there we go. So that worked out. Alright, so let's... Whoa! Oh my googly moogly, this guy is fast, super duper fast. 240, almost max points in speed. That is craziness. 160 points in defense, 80 points in attack, and 80 points in magic. So very, very powerful Trap Master. Indeed, very cool little effect going on right here on the art card itself of the fade in effect. I'm guessing he's going to be able to become translucent or transparent in the game as one of his powers, to where maybe enemies can't spot you or something like that, which is a good way to sneak by past your foes. Alright, so let's go ahead and pull back that little tab, sorry. And then there is Enigma. Whoa, he's just hollow on there. Look at that. Look at that. I just put my finger inside his face. Oh, okay. There we go. You could even wear him as like a beautiful piece of jewelry, like something very fancy and modern. Like, oh, did you see my beautiful jewelry right here? I'm a googly moogly. I don't know what that voice is. Is that like people who wear a lot of jewelry? I don't know. I'm not a big fan of jewelry, but Yeah, that was a bit weird. Nonetheless, of course, what isn't weird is how absolutely tremendously well done this thing is. Just look at that. Like, that is so cool how it fades. Like, basically his cape would typically be all red, but they did the fade in effect with the translucent going into the red, which is absolutely tremendous. Some really lovely paint work, even on the parts that are painted in and aren't translucent. Like here, you can see, again, red fading into black. That's tricky stuff to do. Like, it's way more expensive to do that than to do something like this, where it's all one uniform color, right? Like, because you just cover that and splat it in that one color and that's it, and you're done. Whereas this is a lot more complex to do, so that's very, very cool to see. And then, of course, as you can see, we have some of the translucency effect going on right here on the chest as well. I'm really surprised that he doesn't have any face or anything. That's kind of spooky, but at the same time very cool. And then, of course, his weapon right here is absolutely tremendous looking. It's a really cool magical staff. As I mentioned before, it has a nice little texture work, like sculpted into it, which again is just a nice touch and just kind of brings the whole piece to life. So nonetheless, of course, ladies and gentlemen, there is the lineup for today. Of course, if you guys enjoyed this unboxing and you would like to see gameplay for any one of these guys or all three, let me know in the comment section below. I definitely do not mind to do maybe an arena challenge or something along those lines. Nonetheless, guys, as always, don't forget to have an absolutely fantastic day. I will indeed catch you lovely folks next time. Peace out. See you later, alligators. Bye-bye, everyone.